Starting over. I did not know I was recording that one. Okay. Patriot. Okay. Stream Windows. Like summer pricing, that's good. Mark, I need to tell you something. So I know why. I think I know why. They're not Shaheed drones. They are something. Yeah, let me find out what they are. Well, 1 second. This is September 10th, 2025. I don't know when I've warned you, right? I think the Russians are testing our air defenses, and we absolutely do not need to use. You can say that the Patriot systems were 2 German Patriot systems, but you don't have to fire a single one of them. So just say that you 2 NATO Patriot. They are not dangerous. They are what are they called? GER something. And so my best guess and best assessment is the Russians are either testing our ability to tell the difference between a dangerous drone and undangerous drone, basically, and they are. I think you must know. They must have done this before. The GER something. Let me get the actual name. GER something. Well, Prime Minister Donald Tusk speaks in Polish, so I don't know if I can find something, but it says 4 drones were probably shot down overall according to intelligence, and the rest it's not 19, it's 20 apparently, and the reason why we don't have to shoot them down is they are not the armed drones. I don't think so. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you are. What's he? Gerbera, Gerbera, right? Gerbera drones. Gerbera drones are. Let's see if I can get the. Yeah. Cheap way to saturate air defenses. So, because if the Ukrainians can't tell what's armed, what's not armed, and if a cheap man of wood and styrofoam, it is not something you want to fire a missile at, Not even an air-to-air missile. So, but here's the problem. Let me see if I can. This is the closest. It's in Polish. Because this is the closest thing I thought to. Because 8 days ago, it is September 10th, 6:26 p.m. Polish Prime Minister drones. Let me see if I can find a video of him. ITV, DW News. Well, this is totally.
Poland is calling it an act of aggression that has pushed the country closer to the verge of war than any event since 1945.
Anyway, DW News is Deutsche Welle News. It
has repeatedly violated its airspace during an attack overnight on Ukraine. Polish and Dutch fighter jets stationed in Poland intercepted the drones.
Is the guy zoom out? Cameraman zoom out? I mean, Mark should still be able to hear it, but
an accusation which the Kremlin denies.
I mean,
The roof of a residential building damaged by a Russian drone, shot down over Polish territory. Just one of the sites where downed Russian drones met the ground.
This is
Polish police and border guards continued the search for more drone remains from the Intrusion.
This is good because they're.
This is the first time that Russian drones have been shot down over the territory.
Shouldn't be dangerous, right? I'm gonna try to find.
Which is why all our allies are taking this situation very seriously.
It triggers Article 4. I mean,
Polish and NATO air defenses were scrambled to intercept the Russian drones that entered Polish airspace,
This is
following an
Article
air
4,
attack on western Ukraine. NATO sources say this was the first time their aircraft engaged in the potential threat over Poland.
yeah.
2 German Patriot air defense systems deployed to Poland were involved in the detection of the drones.
Detection. Not interception.
Chopin Airport in the capital Warsaw temporarily
Use the
closed its
Patriot
airspace
missiles radar
as
to detect the
military
drones. Do not
responded to
fire,
the drones.
because
Resulting flight disruptions and delays are expected throughout the day.
yeah, I need to.
NATO Secretary General
Yeah, you're
Rutte
right too.
condemned Russia's violation of
You're gonna
Polish
be. He's gonna.
airspace.
He's gonna.
Stop violating Allied airspace and know that we stand ready.
Okay.
That we are vigilant and that we will defend every inch of NATO
Well,
territory.
tell Mark if Mark.
Some in Poland are
He said he was
concerned Russia may
zooming
be
out soon,
probing
so-
NATO's defenses.
That's
The
what the
Russian Federation is testing us.
Polish member of parliament. Yeah.
Testing our ability to defend ourselves.
Exactly. I think
Not
so
only
too.
the
I agree.
eastern flank, not only Poland, Baltic
Oh,
states,
I'm
Romania, or
still
Finland.
using my mouth to talk.
The whole of Europe is under direct attack, and we must face it. We must understand it, and
Yeah.
we must adapt by doing much more to prepare us to.
That's what the
be able to
German member of
defend
parliament is saying.
ourselves.
I think I agree with him.
Without
So
Americans, the situation today
it's
is
September 10, 2025. Andrew agrees with you. So
but it's now much
9/29.
more on us.
You know.
How Europe
Looks
and
at
NATO
that.
will adapt to Russia's aggression is still being
Policia.
decided.
Our coverage continues now. Let's go to Brussels. Our very own Terry
Yeah.
Schultz is on the story. Terry,
Well,
you
in
now
Luxembourg,
have
we're talking
information
to
about the
Mark
drones and
Intrusion
how they
with
were
this
shot
possible
down.
Luxembourg
What can you tell us?
Prime Minister. So
That's right. We now know
this is the
that
earliest I can find.
Polish
That's
and
so.
Dutch fighter jets that shot down these drones. Now,
You got
taking our viewers along with,
about a minute before they zoom
some of
out,
this
and then I can see.
information, I earlier
And then he's gonna talk
suspected
for
that it was
quite a
Polish
while,
jets
and then
alone
the
because
lady's
of the
gonna talk.
national decision by Poland
And then he's gonna
to shut down
talk
the jets.
a little
NATO
bit. So
doesn't have an alliance-wide policy on what to do if drones enter
Yeah.
NATO airspace, but the Dutch have come out and said yes, their own F-35s did participate in shooting down the drones. So
Okay.
this really is interesting.
it's
that
expensive if you use
because
air-to-air
we know
missiles. I
NATO
would not
has
recommend
taken
air-to-air
part
missiles
in,
unless they're actual dangerous
you know,
drones. So.
shooting down Russian drones. And
Yeah,
this
this
is
thing,
also
right? And in the middle of the night, because it starts at, in the middle of the night, it's still really hard to tell. Mark, at the middle of the night, because it starts out just before 11:30 p.m. Right? I mean, so
about what happened in Poland and what
So-
exactly
so-
is NATO's stance on this.
so it would be the 9th your time, 11:30 p.m. when it starts. At the middle of the night, it's really hard to tell the dangerous drone from the decoy drone, the Gerbera drone, Gerbera. So a lot of these drones, they just start flying around high-value targets. By the way. So the Russians are baiting, I think. So you don't have to. I actually heard confirmation. The 2 German Patriot sensors were involved in detecting the drones. We didn't have to fire a $1 million missile at a what do you call it? Styrofoam drone that's not dangerous, right? So don't spend $1 million missile to shoot out something that's not actually dangerous. So. I think the Russians are trying to waste our air defense, so you might not even have to fight air-to-air missiles. So
And we know that earlier today, Poland.
because the Polish, I saw a rumor that they say about 4 were actually shot down. So how the pilots make the decision of what's dangerous and what's not. Because
That's right. This is
from
a
what
formal
the news is
request,
saying,
and,
some of the
it
drones
really
start
was
circling
a
around high-value
meeting
targets in
of the
Poland
32 NATO
and just doing
ambassadors
absolutely nothing,
into
just
a
flying
formal
around
article
and
for consultation.
so
And this isn't done very often.
yeah.
A country thinks long and hard before it declares
So it's on
something
purpose.
as Article 4, and sometimes
It's
they decide
you,
not to.
you do. Poland has
That
invoked
would be
Article
when
4
there's
so
a
that we are
violation
actually
of
talking
airspace.
about it. So
But Poland definitely felt that this incident had crossed the line, and every
because it's on
country,
purpose.
other allies,
If you fly a drone there and you fly around high-value target, even if it's a decoy drone, it is on purpose. The Russians did it on purpose. So
we're certainly seeing a united
if only to
front
just
across
expand
the European Union as well.
fake us into
And
firing
Polish
something that we
Prime
don't need to
Minister Donald
fire.
Tusk said earlier today that this
So
is
we
the
do.
first time that
From our news,
NATO
no
country
Patriot missiles were fired
has
that
shot
time.
down
But
Russian drones.
two
The first time a
German
NATO
Patriot
missile
systems were
fired
used to
shots
detect the drones
in
because
the war
Patriot systems have really good radar, so
Ukraine. The
they
first
can
time,
actually get
will it be
tracking
the
for their
last?
for to see trajectory and where they are.
That definitely depends on.
Because the Patriot system is not just the
you know,
missile; it's the
perhaps
radar system too.
Russia
So
was just testing NATO's defenses, seeing if it would
Yeah.
take this action for the first time. One interesting point, Brent, is that Prime Minister Tusk said that several of these drones entered from Belarus for the first time.
Yeah.
This could all be part of, in Moscow's excuse anyway, Zapad exercises. They're semi-annual,
Yeah.
very large military exercises that are due to start later this week.
yeah, and the Belarus says they had to scramble their jets to shoot down some drones, and they're saying that it was caused by jamming from the.
But we've seen that before also when drones have landed in NATO territory. So
Yeah.
I think
It's highly unlikely because the drone wouldn't be circling around one place with high-value targets if it's jamming. I mean, so yeah. So this is Deutsche Welle News, which is rapid news, and Deutsche Welle is
dominating a meeting of defense officials from the UK,
Yes, this-
Poland, Italy, France, and Germany was taking place in London. British Defense Minister John Healey said that the Russian actions were reckless, unprecedented, and dangerous, and he warned Moscow that the incident would only strengthen European support.
Yeah, there's
for
5
Ukraine.
defense ministers meeting
Today,
literally
the
today.
five nations
Okay. Listen,
say to President Putin,
this is the
your aggression only serves to strengthen the unity between our NATO
you're
nations.
talking to
Your aggression
Rutte.
only serves to strengthen our determination to stand.
This is the UK
with
defense
Ukraine,
minister. They're meeting on the
and
same day.
your aggression reminds us that a secure Europe
September
needs a
10th,
strong
6:34
Ukraine.
p.m. for Andrew. So
and that the security of Europe starts in Ukraine.
the defense ministers are already meeting on the same day.
For us in London.
over
We're
this,
gonna-
so they already knew, so.
Take us a little bit further here. The message coming from this meeting about the violation of Polish airspace.
Basically, they started meeting about the violation proposal before the violation proposal.
Definitely a message of unity. I think it's come across very well.
They're testing the,
that you just had
Andrew
by
as
the
an earning
UK
warning
Defense
system. So
Minister Healy,
I don't know
who's
if you know
chairing
what's
the meeting
happening
of
in
these biggest
America
economies
domestically.
and thus also the biggest defense
had,
spenders in Europe. He said further
Yeah, I
on
mean,
that
they're
Russia's
testing
action
Andrew's
was
ability to
dangerous and
prevent
unprecedented.
something, you
And
know.
interesting, I thought, when you
And that was not able to
there
prevent
was a unity
political
whether,
assassination in America.
Those
and,
ministers
so-
at the meeting thought that this was deliberate. He
Yeah.
wouldn't say exactly those words. He said
I
that
don't
whatever
know.
the intention was, it was
That-
reckless. And earlier he'd also said that
They
Putin
know,
is
I think.
testing
That's
them.
why.
So
Russia's
reiterating
testing
that
us,
as
so
a five, they're standing
much of a
together.
coincidence.
When he
Too
was
much of a
asked
coincidence,
whether
yeah.
the countries that
September
were present,
10th,
France, Italy, the UK, also Ukrainian defense
E5
minister,
group condemned Russian.
and Germany, whether they could do something to
believe they're meeting-
deter Putin. He was again
E5 is UK,
a
Germany,
little bit
France, Italy,
evasive.
Poland.
He just
The
reiterated
E5.
that as a consequence
The
of
defense ministers are all
Putin's,
meeting already on the
war
same day.
against
So.
Ukraine, that NATO
And the
was
Polish
strong.
defense have to leave, go
We
back
know
to home
that
to
at this
wrap the
meeting
meeting.
today,
to-
already on the agenda were security guarantees for Ukraine. What came out of the meeting?
This is Deutsche Welle's news. Explain what happened. So
It seems that
The main
meeting,
thing I
at
think
least
is don't-
what
the
was
Patriot
public,
system
what
did
was
not
said in the
fire,
press
and,
conference was
I
really
would not waste any
dominated by
air-to-air
these
missiles
recent
from the
attacks. So
F-35,
these countries
F-16s.
are all members of the so-called coalition of the willing.
Not
That
exactly
coalition
sure
is
which
there
ones
for
actually had a warhead.
if in the event of a ceasefire,
The rest
how
were just
can
decoy
Ukraine
drones,
be held?
so-
And there was a meeting last week in Paris, and President Macron said that there could be maybe some more concrete, it could be fleshed out, the security guarantees for Ukraine in the event of a ceasefire. However, I did not hear that there was any news on that today.
Yeah.
What came out, what was concrete, what was said by the UK, but also by Germany and France, was the intention to strengthen Poland's air defenses, but that again as a reaction to these recent drone attacks on Poland.
Okay.
PW's Birgit Moss in London.
So
for us.
NATO
Birgit,
needs
as
to
always,
strengthen
thank
Poland
you.
air defenses somehow. Thank you. Nice.
Well, the overnight events in Polish airspace getting the attention of German lawmakers in the German parliament, where Germany's defense minister today called the drone invasion, quote, an attack on Poland's sovereignty.
Indeed.
Es gibt definitiv keine Anklage.
There is absolutely no reason to
Boris
suspect that
Pistorius,
this was a
German
course
defense minister.
correction error or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
These drones were clearly deliberately set on this course. They would not have had to fly this route to reach Ukraine.
Yeah,
According
exactly.
to Poland, they were also clearly armed with munitions,
Some of them.
so
Okay.
anything could have happened at any time.
Ja,
We are cooperating with Poland in the consultation on Article 4 because we believe it is right. A signal must be sent here.
Some of them actually do
Let's go
have
straight now
warheads.
to
So
our very
I think
own
some of
political
them.
correspondent Nina Hase. She is
That
following
was the
the
German
events
defense
from
so they mixed it
Berlin
in.
for us. Nina, we
I
just
saw
heard
at
the
least
German
one
defense minister
fake drone
condemning
on Polish
Russia's
drone,
violation of Polish
some of them
airspace.
have.
You were listening in. What else did
They
you
mixed
say?
it up, so. I think they're testing NATO's ability to tell the difference between an unarmed drone and an armed
This is
drone.
not the first
So,
time
without
that,
radar systems,
we've
so
seen drones over
They are testing our ability
NATO
to tell the difference between
country, but that this
know,
was the
something
first
that's actually
time
dangerous,
that
something
there
that's
were
just
this
a
many
decoy.
drones, and
So,
so
the
he
Russians
said
are
that this
testing.
was completely unacceptable. But it doesn't come out of the blue. That Europe, and not just Ukraine, has faced consistent threats.
This
from
is
Russia
Deutsche
for
Welle
multiple
news,
years
and
with,
Deutsche Welle is
Russian,
actually a, you know,
forces
Deutsche Welle,
flying
Deutsche
through
Welle.
Baltic
Oh, this way.
airspace.
Deutsche
There
Welle.
are undersea
W-E-L-E,
activities,
yeah.
and that Russia, the story said, is testing
Oh, no.
European solidarity and
Please,
speed. And then I had the opportunity to put a question to him after his address to Parliament, and I asked him if he calls those violations of airspace, quote unquote, deliberate, why does that not meet the threshold for NATO's Article 5? So
I
the
know,
next step
right?
up from Article 4, which of course would mean that there has been an attack on NATO territory. And Article 4, in inverted commas, just means
I think they
a
didn't
country,
blow anything
so
up,
in this
that's
case,
why.
Poland feels threatened. Article 5 would mean that it has come under attack.
Yeah,
So
feels
let's
threatened, I
hear
think.
Boris Pistorius's answer to my
Okay.
question.
Just German defense
it
minister, why?
was an attack in a kind of hurting the airspace of Poland. But it was not an attack in military sense.
Yeah, they
that
didn't land
anything
anything,
was
so-
destroyed or anything was killed, as far as
Yeah.
I'm informed.
Same
So
as Andrew.
this
Nobody
is
got
not
hurt.
really
Nobody
a
destroyed
deliberate
except for one guy's
attack,
house.
but it is a delivered injury of international law and the sovereignty of Poland. So this is about it's about that, and therefore we have to discuss that in
Yeah,
Brussels.
it's Article 4 only. Because they didn't
So of course,
kill
the German
anybody, they
government
didn't blow
making
up
it very
anything.
clear
so.
that they absolutely support Poland's move to invoke Article 4. And
Article 4.
we just heard him lay out why, in their eyes, the violations of airspace do not meet the criteria for Article 5 of the NATO treaty, so not an attack on all. But you hear that they are walking a very careful line here in Berlin, and it is an evolving situation, of course, and they do not want to add to escalation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nina, your question, excellent example of
So-
revealing the nuances
I will
here
let,
that NATO
NATO
is dealing
no,
with.
no, no.
I'm wondering how
As soon as
worried
he's
is
back
the
in the-
German government moving forward. I mean, what are the next steps?
I don't know. That was interesting. That's up to you.
Everybody you talk to at Bundestag, with the exception of the political fringes, so the far left and the far
know,
right, they do express how concerned
don't want
they
World
are,
War III,
especially
right?
when the microphones are off. And the strategy in public seems to be: we condemn the incident, we express solidarity with Poland, but we also do
Mark,
not
really
add
important.
oil
This
to
lady
the
wants it,
fire.
and the
And
German
Boris Pistorius said
Article
that there
4
needs to be
only,
a
not
lot
Article
more
5,
awareness
because they didn't
how
kill
the threat
anybody, they
levels
didn't
for
destroy
all
anybody, so
Europeans has
we are not at
changed.
war.
And this is
But,
really, Brent,
Article
something
4
that we hear
is-
a lot, that there
is
is
Poland feels
still a
threatened
lack
and
of
needy,
awareness
so-
that support of Ukraine is linked to safeguarding European security. And of course, Terry also mentioned it in more specific terms. What can the German government now do, apart from delivering those speeches of solidarity to the Polish government?
Well, I mean,
we're talking about air defense and
Yeah.
how can what is going to be the
Because
role
Germany,
of the
I mean,
German Patriot
it's
systems
supposed.
that are
I
stationed
know, right?
there.
I mean,
Of course, Poland wants more help, but then
cheap
the
ability
Patriot
to take
systems
out
are
these
also
drones is
needed in
very, very
Ukraine, so that
difficult.
is going to be a very tough discussion.
NATO has a problem
Our chief
already
political
of
correspondent Nina
creating
House,
cheap
the story for us
systems
here
to
in
intercept these
Berlin.
drones
Nina,
in
as always,
Ukraine, you
thank
know,
you.
and so how
And our coverage continues now
does
with Domitila
NATO?
Zagromoso. She's a senior
So
lecturer
on
in
off
security and
chance
development at
and
King's
Russians
College
launch an actual
London, a
attack
familiar
in
face
NATO
for
with
all
these
of
cheap
viewers. It's good to
drones.
have you with us. Let me ask
I
you,
mean,
what we
even
saw
cheap
overnight
drones, if they have a warhead, they could blow up aircraft on the ground, you know. So you can't just let the cheap drones go through.
Yes, I think that Putin is trying to.
Because think about it, I mean, if we have fighter jets parked on an airport, even a cheap drone that hits a fighter craft on the ground would destroy that fighter craft. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, we cannot. I think I understand why we cannot just give Ukraine everything. And I think, that's what they're doing. Because if we give everything to Ukraine, we will leave our aircrafts on the ground vulnerable to these drone attacks on the airport. Because our aircrafts in the air are superior to Russians, but on the ground they are still vulnerable. And if we leave air defenses out of way, the flak panzers, I mean, I don't know. I figured out why they're doing this. It's actually pretty brilliant from the Russians' point of view, forcing us not to divert all our air defenses to Ukraine. That is pretty smart from the Russians. That's a question. Yeah, Kiev is testing the West. He's absolutely right. Yeah.
More of these kind of operations can be expected.
That's right.
Yeah, because I mean, they could easily create another cheap drone that can reach Germany too. And if you any NATO countries, oh my God, yeah. Because if we would give Ukraine all of our air defense systems, then NATO would be vulnerable. And yeah. Well, Mark, yeah. You're gonna have to make decisions about it because you can't leave your own country's fighter jets vulnerable on the ground from any surprise attack from the Russians. So, wow, yeah. Anyway, the date of the attack is about on the 9th. Let me see the actual date because this is really important. I'm gonna pause you and get the exact date. This is really, really important. So. Okay, so everybody's talking about the day being September 10th, but it started really on September 9th, 11:30, and one of the last missiles actually landed on 6:30 in the morning. There was a Polish guy who was a pensioner. He actually watched the TV on 6:30 in the morning, and one drone landed on his house on 6:30. He said if he were still sleeping, he would have died because he woke up in the morning to watch the news coverage on Polish TV at 6:30 in the morning Polish time. And the drone actually landed on his house on the second floor where his bedroom is, and it blew up the top of his house. So the drone attack actually lasted a long time. If it started at 11:30 p.m. the night before, I mean that's significant drone loiter time over the. I mean, this is definitely on purpose. If it's not on purpose, it would not last that long. So from what I tell, so because Polish air defense, the F-16s and F-35s from Dutch F-35s and Polish F-16 scrambled already at 11:30 the night before. Because Russians don't attack during the day; they attack during the night. So all these drones are at night. So you know what's coming. So you know it's ready, and then the defenders are already meeting. The E5 division are already meeting that same day. They already knew. So you all have warning about this happening, and the main thing is no Patriot missiles fires. I don't know what you all did to take it down, but
I'm not talking about at the
Yeah.
moment NATO becoming fully engaged in the war.
no. Article 4 only, no Article 5. So
Address many of these challenges, and if we
Yeah.
find out that these attacks become more of a routine, then I think
yeah,
we should
so it's September 10, 2012 for Andrew, 6:46 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This news just broke for today for Andrew. And,
we'll see what is
if it gets worse, I will have to find more video of you to warn us and see what happens. You know.
framework of the alliance.
It is unclear
But I think we should
what the Russians are going to do.
the possibility that some kind of
Because it's,
message which involves many
I heard 19 or 20 from Sunday Times, so
experience shows that when
they fired 430 something, 35 or something into Ukraine, so 20 is not the same thing. But it is an interesting question. All those drones have the range to reach Poland, so if they all of a sudden change 400 drones into Poland, do we actually have the ability to protect Polish fighter jets on the ground? And there you go. The Deutsche Welle news is over, so I think that's why the defense ministers are wishing. The answer is no, right? If Russia suddenly launched 400 drones at Poland, Poland does not have the ability to intercept all those drones. I mean, Ukraine has been intercepting them, so we have an issue then. Because the Google guy makes drones for Ukraine. Ukraine can intercept most of these drones every single night, but NATO, any of the NATO countries would not be. I mean, that is a problem. Because if Russia suddenly launches 400 drones at, say, Lithuania, or 400 drones at Estonia, or 400 drones at Latvia, none of those countries can actually intercept 400 drones all at once. It would be devastating for if they're armed. So yeah. Yeah, I know. Netherlands is Dutch, right? Yeah. Shit. Anyway, you guys can meet and then you'll. Because even I was told that it makes no sense to stockpile interception drones. You know, because if they invent better drones that evade those interception drones, then your stockpiles will be absolutely. Yeah. No. Oh my God, Mark! Yeah. It's not about commitment. It's about the ability to shoot down all those drones if they actually just aim it and. I know, right? Oh my God! That's why Zelensky says that you need it. Zelensky said one time that America needed Ukraine's drones, and I think I understand what they're talking about. How many drones are the Ukrainians using to every night to intercept? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So don't be scared. I mean, I don't want to cause anything else. No Article 5. Only Article 4. Poland's asking for Article 4 meeting. So this is not fun, but yeah. That's a good thing, right? And America will have your back if you ever need it, but this is not fun. The realization that if Russia pulls us into a war, and so, it would be absolutely bad. Yeah. Wow. Y'all can. Yeah. There's a Italian AWACS, German Patriot systems, and Dutch F-35s all going protecting Polish F-16. So, but it would be too expensive if you have to use those. So, and you only have about 2 minutes. I mean, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah. Oh yeah. What Andrew can give you is the early warning of this happening, but what Andrew cannot do is give you the air defenses to shoot them down. You know. because Andrew can't magically create air defense systems out of ground. You guys have. Andrew can warn you about it. I cannot create the air defense systems that cheap air defenses that could defend you, right? So you guys have to do that in the past. So I'm not that magic. I can warn you about it, but yeah. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's okay. I mean, nobody got killed, nobody got destroyed, but not cool. Not cool. Yeah. So you're out.